Hello, good evening, and welcome to TC Network. I am Tingli Tim Hoki bringing you today's news. Today's top headlines include: two siblings excelled in UPSC Civil Services Examination 2023-24. XTC More held condolence program for two Cizo village volunteers. News in details. In a historic milestone, two siblings hailing from the Cizo community have achieved remarkable success in the UPSC Civil Services Exam 2023. Their father, Zamkhumang Haukip, a retired peon from the Manipur Forest Department, and their mother, Nemzalhing Haukip, a dedicated housemaker, have been instrumental in nurturing their aspirations. Hat Chinghoy Haukip, an alumna of IIT Madras with a B.Tech degree, and Dominic So Mintang Haukip, who holds a master's degree in General Studies from Asoka University, Haryana, exemplify academic excellence. Both luminaries attribute their foundational education to JNV Tuinom Manipur, where they hone their skills and knowledge. Chinghoy Haukip previously cleared the Civil Services exam and served in the prestigious IDAS from 2021 to 2023. Then, she successfully secured a position in coveted Indian Forest Service IFOS in 2023 and currently training at the Indian Forest Academy, Dehradun. Meanwhile, Dominic So Mintang Haukip, in his maiden attempt, has triumphed in the Civil Services exam. More Hill Tribal Council XTC held a condolence program today, the 17th of April 2024, at XTC Conference Hall to show their respect and honor to our martyrs Kamlin Satlun Kim and Kamila Lupo, who suffered horrendous treatment in the hands of Meitei militants. Under the management of Inp Technopol KIT and Hill Tribal Council XTC, a condolence program was held today in More at XTC Conference Hall. More CSO's leaders, More Pastor Fellowship members, and many of the general public came to attend this honorary program. The leaders from both organizations shared words during the program, where they told the attendees that we should not be disheartened by the recent infamous incident over our two brave martyrs, and instead we should pull up our socks, strengthen our unity, and work even bolder to save our lands. KIT Defense Leader Thang Minlin Mate led the people into a minute of silence in honor and remembrance of our two martyrs. He also told the attendees that come what may in the future, we should face it bravely and to avoid throwing responsibilities at each other. Mention may also be made that the More people showed great satisfaction over the newly elected CSO leaders who worked tirelessly for the betterment of the town, and they also expressed their hope and expectation on the leaders to bring further development in More town. The KIT and XTC also met known to the town people that candlelight vigil will also be conducted at night in honor of our two martyrs.
Inam sungwa din mun ho iso biteniu athinunga akibol yang sit no ho chu geldo pumin nam khan khoding le ain sungmi hamon ding in pha chomcha minute khat tabang thip chara inum diu hintin tun bon chawen imit sing su ke vitin chomcha khat kin ha taute ka hinti taka chomcha imit in sinwa thip bia inum diuin ka hinti mu ve.
The Inp Manipur issues a clarification over a fact release in the name of Department of Political Affairs Inp Manipur. The release said that it has come to our attention that a notification purportedly released in the name of Department of Political Affairs Inp Manipur is circulating, alleging various claims and engaging in what can only be described as cheap propaganda. We want to make it unequivocally clear that this notification is entirely false and fabricated. We urge everyone to exercise caution and critical thinking when encountering such false notifications. It is essential to verify the authenticity of any information before accepting it as true. Furthermore, we encourage anyone who comes across such misleading content to report it immediately and refrain from spreading it further. We also want to extend a warning to those who propagate such falsehoods. Spreading misinformation not only undermines trust, but also has serious consequences for individuals and society as a whole. We urge anyone involved in disseminating fake notifications to retract their statements and apologize for any harm caused. In conclusion, Kim categorically denies any involvement in the dissemination of the fake notification and remains committed to upholding the highest standards of integrity and honesty. And also, Inp Manipur does not give any power to the Department of Political Affairs to notify such notification. As the 18th Lok Sabha election is approaching, the polling personnel had left for the polling station where they are entrusted for. As per information received by the polling personnel in Churachandpur district, there are 274 polling stations, out of which 110 polling stations will be attended by female polling personnel, and along with presiding officer, polling officer 1, polling officer 2, and polling officer 3, there are 1,156 polling officers altogether, out of which 440 polling officers are female. Out of the 60 polling stations in 57 Hinglip SC, polling personnel and security personnel at 4 polling stations had already reported for duty. Today, April 17, 2024, the polling party for 57 Hinglip, which had 21 polling stations, reports for duty. Under 60 Singat AC, there are 56 polling stations, out of which 15 polling stations polling parties will also report for duty today. On April 18, 2024, polling parties from 57 Hinglip consisting of 35 polling stations will report for work tomorrow. Also, the polling parties from 58 Churachandpur, which consists of 80 polling stations, will leave for work on the same day. Under 59 Saikot, there are 78 polling stations. Under 60 Singat, there are 41 polling stations. And there are 15 special polling stations as well. And the polling parties from these polling stations will also report for duty on the 18th of April 2024. There are 4 model polling stations in the district and 120 all-women polling stations in the district. There are 14 neutral polling stations, out of which 9 are in 57 Hinglip and 5 in 59 Saikot. There are 15 special polling stations for the IDPs and 78 critical and vulnerable polling stations. First phase of Lok Sabha election will be conducted on the 19th of April from 7 a.m. till 4 p.m. and for this Outer Manipur constituency election, the election will be conducted in Assembly Segment 57 Hinglip, 58 Churachandpur, 59 Saikot and 60 Singat. And for the Phase 2 election, which will be held on April 26, election for the Outer Manipur in the district will be held in 55 Tipaimuk and 56 Thanlon. There will be heavy rain in 20 states this year. Meteorological Department released forecast. The Indian Meteorological Department has released a new update regarding monsoon. According to IMD, India is likely to receive more than normal rainfall this time in the 2024 monsoon season, and La Nina conditions are expected by August to September. Monsoon update today. There is good news for the countrymen of India. This year, the monsoon will be good and there will be heavy rains in more than 20 states. As per the comprehensive rainfall forecast for the Southwest Monsoon Season 2024 released by IMD. The entire country is likely to receive above normal rainfall during the Southwest Monsoon Season from June to September 2024, which bodes well for crops. There will be more than normal rainfall in most parts of the country. Giving information about the rainfall of the 2024 Southwest Monsoon Season, Dr. M. Ravi Chandra, Secretary Ministry of Earth Sciences, said that it is expected to be 106% of its long period average LPA with a model error of ±5%. The LPA of monsoon season rainfall over the entire country based on 1971 to 2020 data is 87 cm. This year, most of the country is expected to receive below normal rainfall, except some areas of northwest, east and northeast India where rainfall is likely to be below normal. There is possibility of more rain than normal in parts. Expected La Nina, positive IOD and below normal snow covered in the northern hemisphere will be favorable for rainfall during the Southwest Monsoon 2024 season. Effect of El Nino will be visible. IMD Director General Dr. Mrityunjay Mahapatra said that at present, moderate El Nino effect conditions prevail in the equatorial Pacific region and climate model forecasts indicate neutral till the beginning of the monsoon season and La Nina effect in the second half of the monsoon. Snow covered in the northern hemisphere was below normal during the last 3 months, January to March 2024, reflecting excess rainfall this monsoon. Snow cover extent in winter and spring over the northern hemisphere as well as over Eurasia is generally inversely related to subsequent monsoon rainfall. IMD will release its updated forecast of monsoon rains in the last week of May 2024. The Deputy Commissioner of Kohima, Nagaland, has issued a notification following the detection of African swine fever (ASF) in various locations within the district. As per East Mozo, the notification identified specific areas as infected zones and surveillance zones in an effort to contain the spread of the disease. The infected zone was identified Kidima village within a 1 km radius of the infected premises, a 10 km radius from the infected premises, 9 km radius outside the infected zone, has been identified as surveillance zone. In light of the detection of the African swine fever, ban on slaughter of pigs, import and export of pigs and piglet, and ban on transportation of pigs and pork were imposed. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Wednesday hits out at Congress, accusing the party of implementing a loot-is policy, while emphasizing that the Bharatiya Janata Party (BJP) has shifted focus to an act-is policy. Speaking at a rally in Agartala, the Prime Minister highlighted the significant developments in Tripura under the BJP government. He also noted the historic celebrations of Lord Ram's birth taking place in Ayodhya, marking the first time in 500 years within his own temple. The Congress had adopted the loot-is policy while the BJP has turned it into the act-is policy, PM Modi stated. As per India TV, the Prime Minister further said his government has decided to construct 3 crore new houses in India for the poor. Tripura's people are going to benefit a great deal from it. After a long wait of 500 years, Ram Lalla is finally in a grand temple in Ayodhya instead of a tent, he added. The Prime Minister said his government is focusing on enhancing connectivity in the Northeast. According to him, rupees 3,000 crore will be spent for the facelift of highway in the state. Earlier, mobile towers did not work properly in the state, but now work is on to improve 5G connectivity. It is the Modi government which has reduced mobile bills to around rupees 400 to rupees 500 per month. Had the Congress been in power, your mobile bills would have been rupees 4,000 to 5,000, he said. Taking a dig at the Congress and the CPIM, the PM said, The Congress Euphrates, who is critical over the use of investigative agencies, is now demanding the arrest of Kerala Chief Minister on corruption charges. No corrupt person will be spared, he added. Earlier on Tuesday, Tripura Chief Minister Manik Saha said that BJP candidates in both Lok Sabha seats will win with a huge majority due to the trust of the people in Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the BJP. Saha said this while addressing the election rally organized by Khairpur Mandal on April 16. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is continuously working for the overall development of the country. He has taken the country of such a high level that we must strengthen his hand. We all witnessed the condition of the country before 2014. There was doubt about the future of the country. But after Narendra Modi took over as Prime Minister in 2014, there was a huge change in the governance of the country, Saha added. The 7-phase Lok Sabha polls will kick off on April 19, with the counting of votes set to take place on June 4 as Prime Minister Narendra Modi makes a bid for a third consecutive term in office. Chief Election Commissioner Rajiv Kumar said over 97 crore voters, 49.7 crore males and 47.1 crore females were eligible to cast their vote in the polling process spread over 44 days and across 10.5 lakh polling booths. The elections will begin on April 19, followed by subsequent phases on April 26, May 7, May 13, May 20, May 25, and June 1. Jailed Myanmar democracy leader Aung San Suu Kyi has been moved from prison to house arrest, a military official said Wednesday, as the junta announced a heat wave had prompted measures to protect inmates. The 78-year-old Nobel laureate is serving a 27-year sentence for a host of criminal convictions ranging from corruption to breaching COVID-19 rules. Suu Kyi has largely been hidden from view since the military detained her as they seized power in a 2021 coup, and she has reportedly suffered health problems. A military official speaking on condition of anonymity because he is not authorized to speak to the media said Suu Kyi and former President Win Myint had been moved from prison to house arrest. Junta spokesman Jo Min-tun said that a spell of hot weather had prompted authorities to take measures to protect vulnerable detainees. Not only Do Aung San Suu Kyi and Win Myint, but also some old prisoners were given necessary care because of very hot weather, Jo Min-tun told AFP. The temperature in capital Naypyidaw, where Suu Kyi is believed to be in custody in a specially constructed compound, is expected to hit 41 degrees Celsius, 105.8 Fahrenheit on Wednesday, with even hotter weather forecast for the coming week. The junta also announced on Wednesday that 3,300 prisoners will be freed as part of a regular amnesty to mark the country's New Year festival. Outside Yangon's insane prison, about 200 to 300 relatives and friends waited to greet prisoners as they were taken out of the compound in buses, reports NDTV. It was not immediately clear how long Suu Kyi would be allowed to remain under house arrest beyond the heatwave, or whether the move represented an official reduction in her sentence. Local media reported that during her months-long trial, Suu Kyi had suffered dizzy spells, vomiting, and at times had been unable to eat because of a tooth infection. Her son Kim Aris told AFP in February that she was still being held at the special compound in Naypyidaw. The compound had no air conditioning in the searing heat, and the concrete cells leaked during the monsoon, according to Australian economist Sin Turnald, a former advisor of Suu Kyi's government who was detained there for months. Suu Kyi spent about 15 years under house arrest at her family's colonial-era lakeside mansion in the commercial hub Yangon, after she shot to fame during huge demonstrations against the then junta in 1988. Wednesday's prisoner amnesty include 13 Indonesians and 15 Sri Lankans who will be deported, the junta said. Remaining prisoners will have their sentences cut by 1/6, the junta said in a statement, except for those convicted of serious offenses, including murder, terrorism, and drugs charges. Myanmar's military ousted Suu Kyi's civilian government in a lightning coup in February 2021, ending the country's 10-year experiment with democracy after decades of army rule. The coup triggered a huge outpouring of public opposition, which the military attempted to crush with force, unleashing a spiraling conflict that has left more than 4,800 civilians dead. The army is now struggling to maintain its grip on the country in the face of resistance from civilian anti-junta fighters and long-established ethnic minority armed groups. The U.S. has encouraged India and Pakistan to avoid escalation and find a resolution through dialogue, U.S. State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller said on Tuesday. Asked whether the Biden administration is concerned about Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Defense Minister Rajnath Singh's remarks that India will not hesitate to kill terrorists in their homes, Miller said. As I have said before, the United States is not going to get into the middle of this, but we do encourage both India and Pakistan to avoid escalation and find a resolution through dialogue, Miller, while addressing a press briefing, said that he will never preview any sanction actions and that the U.S. does not discuss sanctions openly. When asked why the U.S. has not imposed any sanctions on India over the alleged assassination plot of Khalistani terrorist Gurpatwan Singh Pannan, Miller said, I am never going to preview any sanction actions, which is not to say that there are any coming. But when you ask me to talk about sanctions, it's something that we don't discuss openly. Gurpatwan Singh Pannan is an Indian designated terrorist and has repeatedly issued threats against India. As per the U.S. Justice Department indictment, an Indian national, Nikhil Gupta, who is currently in custody, has been charged with the murder for hire of Pannan. The U.S. Justice Department had earlier claimed that an Indian government employee who was not identified in the indictment filed had recruited Gupta to hire a hitman to illegally assassinate Pannan, which was foiled by U.S. authorities. Last year, India formed a committee to inquire into the allegations of the foiled assassination plot. On April 11, PM Modi said that in the 10 years of the BJP government at the center, terrorists are being killed in their own homes. Addressing a public rally in Uttarakhand's Rishikesh, PM Modi highlighted the major decisions taken by his government, emphasizing that it was under the NDA regime that Article 370 was abrogated from Jammu and Kashmir. Today, there is strong government in the country. Under this Mazboot Modi Sarkar, आतंकवादियों को घर में घुस के मारा जाता है. The Indian tricolor has become a guarantee of security even in the war zone. After 7 decades, Article 370 was scrapped from Jammu and Kashmir and a law was made against triple talaq. It was a strong government that ensured 33% reservation in parliament and the poor in the general category also got 10% reservation, the PM had said. India has repeatedly emphasized that it will not tolerate cross-border terrorism and that it cannot keep aside terrorism to improve ties with Islamabad. New Delhi has also said that the onus is on Islamabad to create a conducive atmosphere in which there is no terror, hostility or violence. In an interview with ANI, Rajnath Singh said, if Pakistan's intention is clear, it should act decisively against cross-border terrorism. If Pakistan attempts to destabilize India through terrorism, it will have to face the consequences. Pakistan needs to control terrorism. If Pakistan thinks that it is not capable of controlling it, if they feel they are not capable, then India is a neighbor. If they want to take India's help, they should. India is ready to provide all assistance to combat terrorism, Singh had said. They are our neighbors, and if their intention is clear that terrorism should end, they should do that themselves or take help from India. We both can end terrorism, but this is their call. I am just giving a suggestion, he added. Asked about his Gaski Marenge remarks made in a recent TV interview, Rajnath Singh said that India will do everything to combat terrorism. We won't allow terrorists to operate within Indian borders. We will do everything to stop it, he said. Asked if such action can be taken across the border, he said, we will see what happens. Heavy thunderstorms swept across the United Arab Emirates on Tuesday, leading to significant flooding in Dubai, with the desert city-state receiving over a year and a half's worth of rainfall in just a few hours. This intense weather event disrupted major highways and operations at Dubai International Airport, one of the world's busiest airports for international travel. Meteorological reports indicate that approximately 20 millimeters (0.79 inches) of rain drenched Dubai late Monday, with the storm intensifying around 9 a.m. on Tuesday. Fujairah is the only emirate that saw more rainfall than Dubai. The emirate on the UAE's eastern coast saw the heaviest rainfall Tuesday with 145 millimeters (5.7 inches) falling there. One person died in Ras Al Khaimah, the country's northernmost emirate. The police there said one 70-year-old man died when his vehicle was swept away by flood water. One person died in Ras Al Khaimah, the country's northernmost emirate. At the airport, standing water lapped on taxiways as aircraft landed. The airport ended up halting arrivals Tuesday night, and passengers struggled to reach terminals through the flooded water covering surrounding roads. Many motorists struggled to tow their vehicles out of their deeper than expected water covering some roads. Exceptional rainfalls in the Arabian Peninsula, especially in the United Arab Emirates, 119 mm in 24 hours at Dubai Airport, 50% more than its average yearly rainfall. The authorities have sent tanker trucks out into the streets and highways to pump away the water. Water also entered a few homes. Dubai received more than 142 millimeters of rainfall over a period of 24 hours. The emirate sees 94.7 millimeters of rainfall in an average year. As per data from the Dubai International Airport, the world's busiest for international travel and a hub for the long-haul carrier Emirates. Lightning flashes across the sky, occasionally touching the tip of the Burj Khalifa, the world's tallest building. UAE usually does not receive much rain, as it is an arid nation in the Arabian Peninsula. Rain occurs only periodically during the cooler winter months. Due to the lack of rain, many roads and other areas lack adequate drainage systems, causing flooding. Rain also fell in Bahrain, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia. Global flight tracker Flightradar24 on its website gave the Dubai airport 5 points on the arrival delay index on Tuesday. The index forecasts arrival disruption. The higher the score, higher the likelihood of delays and cancellations. In neighboring Oman, a sultanate that rests on the eastern edge of the Arabian Peninsula, at least 18 people had been killed in heavy rains in recent days, according to a statement Tuesday from the country's National Committee for Emergency Management. That includes some 10 school children swept away in a vehicle with an adult, which saw condolences come into the country from rulers across the region. That is all for today's news, and have a pleasant evening ahead.